Hello, I'm your host today, Julia Yorks. I am here with John Tran, the head of development for Kinolime, and we are so excited because we are going to talk some scripts today for the Script to Screen annual competition. I've worked with Kinolime in the past, and I think what you guys are doing is so exciting because this is the largest screenplay competition prize, which is essentially that the winner gets their script optioned and then also produced with an up to $15 million budget.
I know we're crazy, right?
It's insane. A lot of working screenwriters that I know have never had their work produced.
Yeah.
So it's huge.
Typically competitions, you get like an option or a small fee, whatever, but we're really like going for it. We really believe in the audience and we want to hear what everyone has to say. So we're like so pumped, and we are down to the final three, and this is like the best part of the job. We get to table read and talk about story. I mean, this is what it's coming down to.
I love it. Yeah, today we are going to talk about Decomposer. And so let's jump into the log line. A parasite that has taken over the mind and body of a realtor in southern Appalachia yearns for the impossible, to be human. Comps that we gave were Under the Skin meets It Follows. What I thought was really interesting about this script was that the main character is George, ostensibly. However, when you really get down into it, the main character of this movie is the parasite.
Yes, which is really cool. What the writers did that was so unique is you get into the story not with George, and you're just finding like bodies after bodies, and then eventually we get to George, and then we're following his path to humanity in a way as a parasite. And I thought it was really, really beautiful. Very sparse in dialogue, a lot of just moments that just hit, like human moments.
There were a lot of really cool scare moments too, just shocking moments. I also just thought there was something really interesting and almost barbarian-like about the hole that just keeps asking for
cool.
more. It was just so unexpected, and you really just thought, oh, this guy's crazy and a killer, and then no, he's not. He's like feeding the earth, and it just leads to so many questions, and I found that to be super interesting. It was very unique.
And another device that they used to bring out the humanity in the conflicted parasite George was the camera.
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Yeah.
It's
really cool.
like taking photos. I loved it. I really thought it was very well done.
Let's show you how great the script is, and let's get into the reading of it. We are joined today by two lovely actors. Playing the role of George is Chris Hahn, and playing the role of Lee is Michael White. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. To set the scene, this is in the middle of the script, probably around the midpoint. It's page 53. And Lee is a truck driver, and he is going to give George a ride. We think that something nefarious could potentially happen. All right, let's go for it. Exterior highway gas station night. Clack. The Teamster places the gas nozzle in the fuel filler. As it pumps, he walks to the back end of the truck, opens his fresh pack, and enjoys himself a cigarette. He smokes, staring into the night with a pensive manner as he leans against the big white box truck. As he takes a drag, he notices the figure again. It's George. He limps on by the gas station, continuing down the highway. Doesn't even pay mind to the station. The Teamster furrows, curiously watching him pass by. His eyes momentarily drift down in thought.
Fuck.
He takes another drag before flicking the cigarette. Interior box truck night traveling. The Teamster and George sit quietly in the cab of the box truck as it sails down the dark highway. They watch the road pass before them. The Teamster takes a peek at George. He looks terrible, like a chemo patient fell down a flight of stairs. He sits with his hands in his lap. The driver sniffs, then scrunches his face. George clearly doesn't smell very pleasant either. It's a bit awkward, so the Teamster tries to break the ice.
I'm Lee, by the way.
Lee extends his hand for a shake. George looks at his extended hand like it's a foreign object from another planet. George mimics what he does and somehow is able to complete the handshake.
George. All right. Good to meet you, George. Where you headed?
George reaches into his pocket and fishes out the family photo of him, his wife, and child at the beach. He hands it to Lee, who takes a close look.
So, you're going to the beach?
George nods.
Which beach?
George doesn't reply.
Is Wilmington close enough? That's where my drop is.
Yeah.
Cool.
He hands the photo back to George, who takes it and stares at the photo.
Listen, I'm sorry, but I gotta ask. Are you all right?
George stays quiet. Lee's eyes scan George.
I only ask because looks like you had it a bit rough. Were you in a wreck?
George continues to stay quiet.
You know what? It's none of my business. I should have never brought it up. I'm sorry.
I don't want to hurt people anymore. I just want a life. My own life.
Lee glances at George knowingly.
I get you. Been there before, man.
Been there before?
That's why I'm driving now. Fuck yeah. I used to be a little bit of a shit. Not calling you a shit. You look like a pretty well put together fella. But yeah, I've absolutely made bad decisions. It's how you bounce back, man. You gotta find a thing. For me, driving was the thing. It's kept me away from all that stuff that get me in trouble. I don't have a boss standing over my shoulder. I just drive. Now I visit cool places, listen to music, and keep up on audiobooks.
What's my thing?
I don't know. What do you like? Reading, hiking, driving, painting, you know, hobby shit.
I like taking photos.
Photography. Oh, that's an excellent thing. There you go. You know what?
Lee lifts up the seat dividing them and digs around in the compartment below. He takes out a Polaroid camera and hands it to George.
It's yours.
This is mine?
All yours. It's practically new. I bought it when I first got this job. I thought I'd use it more since I'm traveling so much. But all it does is collect dust under my seat. It's got a full photo cartridge in it already. I think you'll get more mileage out of it than me.
Thank you.
Happy to oblige. When we get to Wilmington, we'll take it for a spin.
Lee reaches over to the radio and flicks it on, continuing his audiobook. George doesn't even notice. He just stares at his new camera. And scene.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Amazing.
Wow.
Wow, you guys.
Yo, that was great.
Amazing. I mean,
Chills.
if this isn't an example of why this
Yes,
is so
yes,
incredibly
yes.
important, because you guys just took these words and just exploded them off the page, and you really show what the potential is of this project in a way that, yeah, you can see in the writing, but it's just the combo. That's
This
fantastic.
is why we're doing this,
Yeah.
because you read something at home and you're like, okay, but to see it live, or record it, but to see it play out, I mean, that's where you get the sense of the words coming to life. And this is why we're doing what we're doing.
That was magic.
I know.
Yes, it felt good.
How did you
Very cool.
How did you feel? Like, take us through the scene from your perspective and the character.
First off, thank you.
No, thank you.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was good fun.
I really appreciate the treatment that you guys shared. It gave a lot of insight into just a normal salesperson that loses their own faculty to like a something that possesses them. I don't know. There was something in the treatment that was like so specific, like kills and disposes, kills and disposes. But then a picture, like something in that picture allows George at its very little to influence the parasite to say, I was more than this and you can be too. And so that destination of the beach to be something where that more can be accessed as he's dragging himself down the block and is by some way thankfully brought into this cabin, even though he looks like a chemo patient who's been thrown down the steps. I was like, my typecast.
The descriptions in this script I find to be just so incredible. They're like nothing that I ever would think to say, and yet it perfectly encapsulates what it is they're trying to say. Like, chemo patient who's been thrown down the stairs. Great, I know exactly what you
I know exactly.
So
the blending of the parasite, what it wants with what a human wants, and having those things intersect was extremely clever, imaginative, like just creative. So it was everything that I didn't like. Nobody died in this scene.
Yeah.
But what happened was much more interesting than if somebody was hacked up in this scene, because it's now the parasite is actually coming face to face with humanity.
Yeah.
And humanity who's not judging him or as a parasite.
Yeah.
I loved how you said no one dies, because on that theme, it's the antithesis.
Right.
You know, Lee has discovered his own type of rebirth and is paying it forward to someone who's in the process of their own.
Right, exactly. He just doesn't know that your process is as involved as it is. Like you're a parasite and being eaten from or not eaten from the inside out, but kind of taken over.
No, it's great.
Seems crazy. But
Amazing. You guys killed it.
Oh yeah, amazing. And if you want to see this become a movie and see the rest of how the scene plays out, or get these guys on there,
Yeah, seriously.
you got to go to Kinolime.com, download and read Decomposer. It's going to be a quick read. It's so much fun. We'd love to hear what your take is on it, from your perspective. But yeah, if you want to see this get made, go to Kinolime.com, read, rate, and vote.
Kinolime, let's go make a movie.